Most men think attraction is about saying the right thing, but that's not what makes a woman feel something. What actually pulls her in? What makes her think about you later? What makes her energy shift around you is rarely what you say. It's what you make her feel without trying too hard. And the truth is, women don't respond to effort the way you think they do. They respond to presence, to emotional control, to subtle shifts that most men completely overlook. If you've ever felt like you were doing everything right, but still not getting the reaction you expected, this is where things change. Because there are 4 very specific things that when you do them the right way, she doesn't just notice you, she starts feeling drawn to you. And the first one is where most men lose her without even realizing it. It's when you stop trying to impress her and start letting her discover you. See, when a man is constantly trying to prove himself, talking too much, explaining too much, trying to be liked, it creates pressure, not attraction. Because attraction isn't built through performance, it's built through curiosity. And curiosity only exists when something feels slightly out of reach. When you don't reveal everything right away, when you don't rush to fill every silence, you give her space to lean in, to wonder, to pay attention. And that's the moment things start shifting. Because now she's not just reacting to you. She's trying to figure you out. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. They think silence is awkward. But the right kind of silence is magnetic. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The second thing that creates real attraction is emotional steadiness. Not being cold, not being distant, but being grounded. Because when a woman feels like your mood depends on her reactions, it kills the tension. If she texts late and you instantly change your energy, if she pulls back and you start chasing harder, if her attention controls your behavior, she feels it. And it doesn't feel attractive. It feels unstable. But when your energy stays consistent, when you're warm but not reactive, when you enjoy her presence but don't depend on it, something shifts inside her. Because now she feels like she has to earn your attention just a little. And this is the part most men don't understand. Attraction isn't just about making her feel wanted. It's about making her feel like she wants to be chosen. And that feeling only happens when you're not easily moved. Now, don't misunderstand this. This isn't about playing games. It's about emotional control. Because a man who is calm, centered, and slightly unpredictable creates tension. And tension is where attraction lives. But the deeper truth is even more revealing. The third thing that pulls her in is how you respond to her subtle signals. Not her words, her behavior. Because women rarely say exactly what they feel in the beginning. They show it in small ways, in moments most men ignore. The way she lingers a little longer than necessary, the way her tone softens around you, the way she teases you just enough to see how you react. And this is where everything either builds or disappears. Because if you miss these moments, you miss the opportunity to connect. But if you recognize them and respond with confidence instead of confusion, you create something powerful. For example, when she playfully challenges you, she's not testing your intelligence. She's testing your emotional strength. She wants to see if you can stay relaxed, if you can hold your frame, if you can match her energy without losing control. And when you do that, you don't just pass the test. You become interesting. Because now she feels like you understand something deeper, something most men don't, and that's where attraction quietly becomes obvious. But there's one more thing, and this is the one that changes everything. It's the way you make her feel in your presence, without trying to force anything, because the strongest attraction isn't loud. It's not obvious. It's felt in the way you look at her without staring too hard, in the way you listen without interrupting, in the way you give attention without chasing validation. It's subtle, but it's powerful, because when a woman feels emotionally safe and slightly challenged at the same time, that's when the connection becomes addictive. And most men never reach this point, because they're too focused on getting a result, instead of creating a feeling. But what you need to understand is this. Women don't fall for words. They fall for emotional experiences. The way you make her feel when she's around you is what she remembers when you're not there. And if that feeling is calm, intriguing, slightly exciting, she comes back. Not because she has to, but because she wants to feel that again. And this is the part most men overlook completely. You don't need to chase her attention. You need to become the experience she doesn't forget. Because when you do these things the right way, she doesn't feel pressured. She feels pulled. And when a woman feels pulled, she starts doing something very interesting. She starts investing her time, her attention, her energy, and she won't even realize why. Because attraction rarely feels logical. It just feels real. So if you've been trying too hard, if you've been overthinking every message, every interaction, take a step back and focus on this instead. Create curiosity instead of explaining everything. Stay grounded instead of reacting to everything. Notice her signals instead of waiting for clear answers. And most importantly, focus on how she feels around you, because that's what she'll remember. That's what she'll come back for. And that's what makes the difference between being just another guy and being the one she can't stop thinking about. And once you understand that, everything changes.